And hello, everybody. Is this thing on? I sure hope it is. Hi. My name is Arso Obsessions, also known as Obby, and today I am joined by...
Hi everyone, it's me, Vwild! With an excellent, brilliant person who I'm very excited about doing this with.
Wait. Same but for you.
You fool, you fell into my compliment trap.
Ah!
There are no survivors.
I shrivel up like a dying rose.
And we have not introduced our characters, but irrelevant, we're slinging compliments.
Okay, so today we have, for everyone here today, we have an FPS, which we have lovingly named Vampire Case File. If you can't guess by the title, I'm going to be playing my one and only vampire, Cassius, Sorrel, Yune, Blackmont III.
And I am playing Detective Lin Stagehand at your pick and service. Which is going to be interesting because, no one plans for the monkey, so we'll see the results of this.
No one plans for the monkey.
She just makes it her business to be in other people's business. It's her job.
Her business is everyone else's business.
Exactly.
That's the short. Yeah, that's the long and the short of it.
And she is short.
Well, to provide a little bit of background of why this FPS is occurring, recently, Gregory did a dumb.
That's to put it
Gregory
lightly.
Gregory did a stupid. In an very impromptu FPS between Crockett and I, we had Gregory and Cassius interact just for the heck of it, because Gregory had some stuff up with his blood, and Cassius is a vampire who wasn't associated with Halloweentown and seems like a good option to get data from about said ink and blood. And then things went to peck because the both of us forgot
yeah, you
that
did.
the thrall literally has a living thing watching Cassius.
Yeah, you did. The pet.
Yeah, we did.
The pet.
Which I went back and listened to the FPS. A lot of the information was said out loud, so, oops. I'm sorry.
Gregory telling everyone, it was totally just mainly done through message. Not much information got out. I'm gonna have to listen to that recording at some stage to figure out.
I already listened to it. I can tell you, they didn't start doing message until Gelosity was started to be talked about.
Oh my
and that was after Cassius gave all the information he could about Gregory's blood.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's great. It's fine. Anyway.
There's definitely a reason why you're in this town. There is definitely a reason why you're here.
In the aftermath of that, there was the emergency meeting, which went from, talking casually about what was happening to, hey, we pecked up. We need to discuss a lot of things. And Lin actually heard about, in fact, immediately identified that Gregory had been bit by a vampire.
Yeah. Thankfully.
And even got the name from Chateau, who was at the meeting place.
Yes. Thankfully, she knows it was a consensual bite, so she's not going to go, defang someone today.
There is no warpath. At least not in that sense.
There is no warpath. There is an interest path, which is probably just as terrifying for the recipient. Yeah. On the plus side, at least, Cassius, who went to go, lay low and fuck off into the mountains, has been informed to do not fuck off into the mountains, come into town, you dunkop.
Yeah, he's... It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It did.
He wanted to get as far away as possible from the place he was currently at, just in case that thing had his scent.
Yes. However, we all do question, boy, where is your support network?
What support network? Anyway. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Lin's worried about it, but it's fine. But he's here, he's queer, he's been bashed over the head by a vampire lightly for, you know, you're young and stupid.
Being an idiot. Listen, he's bashed on the head every day for being an idiot. Does this stop him? No.
It's like trying to spray water on a cat, but the cat likes it.
Just to spite you, yeah.
How's he doing today, eh?
Well, Cassius, because he has literally nowhere else to go, decided to, you know what? Yeah, know what? Take up the offer. Halloweentown seems like a safe place, at least for this next little bit until things cool down. Which is very weird for him to be saying, because it is so the opposite of everything he knows.
Indeed. He's temporarily displaced, man.
He's temporarily displaced. I also have to mention, there's no pecking way he can afford a teleportation circle, so he probably got here via train or transportation. How else have you?
Yeah,
It's been days.
They've got a train station, a very nice train station. They also have their own.
Definitely by train then.
Yeah. They also have their own teleportation hub here. Although I'm pretty sure if you'd just gone to Row and gone, hi, I can't get here without money. But then again,
You really think he's gonna stoop so low to beg somebody for money?
I said it, and then I looked at him, and then I went, yeah, no, that would never have happened.
It never would have happened, no. He's getting there by his own, methods.
He's independent.
Independent with a capital I.
Yes.
Or at least as independent as you can be when you have somebody in your head, but don't worry about it.
Vaguely worried about it, but we'll tackle that bridge if it comes to it. But he's here. He's made it. And
shows up in Halloweentown, immediately discusses things with Ro for a period of time, I imagine, and then immediately holds himself up in the library.
Incredible. And I will say, it's been, because of the train trip and everything, it's been a few days since that message, since attention everyone, since all of that. I pat my monkey. That was a lot. But, but just, yeah, Cassius, it is a nice day. You found a nice old cove. You've squirreled yourself away in it. Probably got a few books that you've just gone, mine now.
Yeah, basically. Anything with any sort of interesting title or cover, he just grabbed and is just burying himself in it.
Nice. How do we want to... Cassius, would you roll me a perception, please?
Question. Could I just go off my passive?
What's your passive?
Passive perception is 15.
You know what? I'll say yeah, you can go off that. Because,
Alright.
I rolled a monkey has decided today is a day for enrichment. And she rolled an investigation for, can I find this vampire twink? And got an 18 on the dice, so she knows. She's going to know.
She knows where to locate.
Yeah. It's just minor sense in the background, just, today's going to be interesting. But
there's a shift in the tone.
Yes. But it's just, I think
thank goodness Cassius can't hear the soundtrack.
Yes. If he could hear the soundtrack, it would be the detective equivalent of a Jaws theme.
Detective Noir Jaws. Oh no.
Yeah.
Is that still?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But
Gone.
I think she's going to approach this with a little bit of tact. She's not gonna go immediately guns a blazing, because that's how you get someone to, poof and run. And she's not particularly in the mood for a chase scene yet. So, just, Cassius, you're doing great. Your books are going great. You're probably, pretty engrossed in one until...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be... There is a voice off to one side that probably does make you jump, because... I look at the stealth. Just... sorry, were you reading that one?
Cassius startles a little bit, sits up straighter in his chair, and his ears kind of pin back slightly as he looks towards the voice.
And there is just off to one side, just very straight backed, just hands clasped in front of her, head tilted just slightly back, is a monkey. Very short, but the outfit is very prim and pressed and everything, and she's just kind of looking at you, and then just goes, "Oh, I do apologize. I didn't mean to startle you there. I was asking about that book right next to you. Are you going to be reading it in a minute?"
Cassius gives Lin a very long look of just normally he hears people coming. He's very observant in that sense, but
It is the most pleasant little smile on her face. And she's just looking at you with the big eyes.
No, not currently. Yeah. And he just casually shoves it across the table towards Lin before promptly burying his nose back into the book he's currently reading.
Thank you very much. It's... Ro recommended this one recently. And the one you're reading right now, that's another one that Ro usually approves of certain people. Rather a fascinating read, isn't it?
Yes, it is quite engrossing.
You'll find that about most books around here. But, well, for some of the ones around here, very flowery prose on the cover, but more than meets the eye underneath. Sorry, where are my manners? Viscountess Lin. Just reaches
Cassius,
reaches her hand over the table.
Cassius looks down at the hand and looks up at Lin. He's so not in the mood for this, but he is going to just sigh and extend a hand and shake it.
Marvelous. And I didn't quite catch your name.
Cassius.
Ah, yes. I recognize you. I do. Yes.
What?
Yes, she's not let go of your hand. Yes, Gregory mentioned you. You know Gregory, yes?
Cassius is going to try to very quickly take his hand back. He does it like that.
You know what? She does let the hand go after just a quick final squeeze. Oh, that's rather surprising. But yes, he mentioned you a few days ago. Wonderful conversation. I know Gregory very well. After all, he's my partner.
Is this about the... Listen, he was literally asking me.
Oh, yes, I know. He made that very clear, very consensual, all that sort of stuff. And hey, we know enough vampires around here, the entire coven, absolutely wonderful people. But, well, I actually thought, well, if you hear about someone new, you might as well introduce yourself to them, Especially someone as interesting as you.
I'm gonna roll insight on Cassius. That's the only way I could go about this at the moment, to see if he can catch, like, the undertones of what Lin is suggesting. Well, that's a 9.
I kid you not, do you want to know? Do you want to know the passive perception or the passive deception of this monkey?
What?
24!
Oh! Yeah, no, Cassius can never, ever, ever beat that passive deception. Simon might be able to, though.
But she is giving you just... Currently, you don't get any feeling that she's going to lunge across the table at your throat or anything.
Mm-hmm.
She does seem incredibly calm. She just goes, well, just like interesting covers, sometimes you have to do a bit more reading into things to get the full gist of a situation. To get to the heart of a story.
What exactly are you implying here?
Well, let's just say I like investigating people. And you, Cassius, Sorrel, Yune, Blackmont III, are rather intriguing to me.
Okay. Do you want to roll insight?
That is a 18.
18. Okay. That beats the passive deception this boy is capable of. Oh boy. I have to think about how to... Oh boy. As the interaction began, Cassius had that sort of energy of, bored, maybe even irritated that his alone time is being interrupted. With this reveal that Lin knows his full name is making him wildly uncomfortable.
You do?
Like, his body posture has gone from that of someone disinterested to someone interested and very worried. Tensed up like a spring.
Don't worry, I don't mean you any harm, and don't bother getting up. I don't particularly want to do a chase scene today, and I would catch you. You're smarter than that. I know it.
Look, do we really have to do this?
I mean, honestly, I think it's within both of our best interests. And yeah, she's completely dropped the accent, and you full on see her posture just change. It's still proper, but it is less aristocratic and more detective. It's someone who knows how to be present. But
okay.
As I said, you are rather a intriguing person. And, well, I did some digging around.
I don't see how you could find me, of all people, intriguing. I keep to myself.
Yes, you do. Nowadays. I must admit, with everything going on, well, you tend to get into a few little scrapes. There was the Uncanny Valley situation, which I must admit, you and your crew brought a very wonderful person into our midst. That was nice. Chateau's wonderful. And you've helped out my partner now, so points in your favour, even if, unfortunately, everything with, you-know-who green theme. Eeh. But, well, someone who just absconds into the mountains instead of going to someone else. You catch my interest. I like learning about people, and, well, you keep to yourself nowadays, but you've got quite the history, haven't you?
Oh boy. No, I suggest we do this later, or perhaps never. Never at all. And I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
That was a 19 on the dice.
Okay, yeah, that's better than this is, yeah. Lin is fine. Okay, so the spell Cassius attempted to cast was Suggestion, which doesn't say anything about upon a failure lets the target know that the spell was being casted.
It'd probably be an Arcana roll to suss anything at all. Is there any flavouring to when Cassius casts?
Cassius casts, his eyes glow a little bit. And then, if Lin was to detect that Cassius even attempted magic, yeah, definitely an Arcana check would be needed.
Yeah. I will allow you to roll an insight if you like.
Cool. Insight's cool. All right. That's a 5.
Yeah, no. Because she had been looking you in the eyes, and that is a Arcana. Okay. I love Cassius so much, I hope you know this. That is a 13 plus 6.
Oh, no.
So, she knows. And so...
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Especially the red flash. I think that's the bit that especially gives it away. And she just pauses for a moment. And then she looks you dead in the eye, and there is a slow grin that just ticks into place, just showing off. Yeah, this monkey does actually have quite sharp fangs. Jesus freaking Christ. That I just rolled an intimidation from Lin. That was an 18 on the dice.
Okay.
And so she does just go, it is within your best interest not to do that again, Cassius. Don't bother getting up. Don't bother creating any fuss. But, no, you see...
Hold on, I have to do something. What's Lin's passive perception real quick?
22.
Okay, I don't know if this thing can even beat that, but let's find out. Oh. Oh, okay. Hold on. That was a 22 on stealth of something else.
Something else?
Is it meets it beats it for stealth or meets it beats it for perception? I think it would be perception, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, Lin is definitely noticing Cassius's, further tensing body posture. Lin also hears, the sound of something on a shelf behind her rustling. which means you are prepared for when a black cat leaps down from the shelves and tries to pounce on you.
She's gonna scruff it. Like, she's not taking her eyes off Cassius. She's gonna try and attempt and scruff it.
Well, I am going to make a melee weapon attack, actually.
Oh my god! Delightful! Do it.
It's gonna be at disadvantage because Lin was prepared.
Yeah. Delightful. I love it.
Okay, both dice were 14.
Okay, so that's probably
Which,
gonna
let me
hit.
see.
That's probably gonna hit. Oh.
Would a 14 hit?
Wait, 14, like, fully? As in, that's...
14 fully, yeah, there's no plus on the die.
Nope,
any
that does not
modifiers.
hit. That does not hit. I thought it was modifiers to be added. No.
Nope, there's no, this is a familiar.
So, yeah, no, it's scruff.
Scruffed.
But I will say...
And regardless whether that worked or not, Cassius was doing that to try and run. He's gonna cast fly on himself and turn into a little bat and just noom.
How fast can the bat move?
With the fly spell, Cassius has a 60-foot flying speed.
Alright, that is faster than Lin can go. Fantastic. She does look down at the familiar and go, that could have gone better. Enriching experience. I guess we're doing a chase now, aren't we? On both of your parts, I apologize. You are a very good kitty. And she's already getting up. Like, she's flagging down the book that she got earlier, just tagging it as I would like this on loan later. Please keep this alcove free. We'll be back. And then she's going to pick up, with the cat still in arm, cast long strider on herself, and then just go, pursuit time. Noom!
Okay, here's the thing. As Cassius is a tiny bat, he's probably very hard to A, find, B, pin down.
So...
I'm gonna give him just a general stealth check to see how well he is doing in the stealth part of this.
Lin also upon, like, what is this still going to be in the library, do you think?
Yes, definitely still in the library.
Good.
Okay. Alright, I have rolled which, wow, this is a good stealth for Cassius. But I don't know if it's enough to beat Lynn's perception.
No, I can roll.
Not even passively.
No. She's got a 12 modifier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
roll.
roll...
Lin does this as a career.
Yeah.
Lin does this for a living.
Yes. Indeed.
And probably... Oh, I'm just picturing, like... I'm imagining, like, there's little chandeliers in the library.
Yes.
And I'm picturing that there's little upside down bats as decorations.
It's Halloweentown. They got an aesthetic. Of course they have.
So Cassius has attempted to be stealthy by blending in with those bat decorations. Problem is, Cassius has, like, bright yellow and red ears, which kind of give it away.
Oh my god!
I need to find art of little bat Cassius.
I've seen it. I've seen it in a title card you did with the Varvar's kid Vivi. I've seen it. By the way, this is a random question. What title does Cassius use? Is it Lord or is it Mr.? What is it? Just trying to recall.
What would the son of a duke be called?
I don't know. Hang on.
I don't know either.
My mum knew a duke. You'd think I'd know this, but no.
That's you.
Marquis. He can also be an earl, viscount, or baron.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, that's the eldest son. So,
yeah.
And that ain't him.
Cassius isn't the eldest.
The youngest son's normally Lord. Yeah, it's Lord.
Lord, amazing.
So there is just Cassius. You're doing so well. You're doing so well, and you see
Found the art.
You see the monkey just walking under where you are. Just she is being gentle with your familiar. Oh my god, that is brilliant. I love him. But she is being very gentle with your familiar. It's not an angry. It's not holding it hostage. She's being nice. And then she walks past. And there's probably this window of one, and then there's just in your head as she casts message. Lord Cassius. An interesting position, but honestly, this isn't needed.
The bat startles and falls off the chandelier before flying back up.
And she just very calmly turns around and looks dead at you. Then just... Another message just... I know a considerable amount of your history, but I think it would be rather interesting to just talk things out. I mean no harm, and I intend to speak to no one. Care to come down?
Well, Cassius is gonna respond with message in turn.
Mm-hmm.
Just like tiny bat eyes narrowed down at this monkey. You must understand, we have only just met. You can understand the reluctance I have with believing anything you have to say.
It's true, it's true. Perhaps if I gave you a more clear version of my title. I have not lied about it, but I have another one.
Cassius kind of like tilts his head and like waves a wing in a go on motion.
And I will allow you to roll history with a d6 added onto it. As she just goes,
Okay.
My name is Detective Lin Stagehand of the Requiem.
Alright. Ooh. Gonna roll that. So history. Oh gosh, I forgot Cassius is good at history.
I hoped as much.
Let's see. 24 history.
Marvelous. So, Cassius, the first thing you get is, oh gods, this is the detective, capital T, capital D. One of the longest standing detectives that's lasted in Inkwell. One who's got a very long track record of a vast range of cases. But after that, there is something else that you notice. Perhaps from picking stuff up from how long you've been running, from how much everything's been going, but the name does ring a bell from people in need, but not just people in need, but people who were trying to hide and needed help in doing so, or that just wanted to do it better. It's not so much pity or need, but this one right here is very good at helping people, especially with documentation and other things. This one's not a corrupt one. This one helps people of all sorts as long as there's no tricks, no trouble. She's not known for being a you disappear in the night and never return.
Okay. I think after quietly, mentally giving that rundown to Simon. Because hey, they share the same brain, and they at least need to know what situation they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust me, it has happened before. It could happen again. If Simon thinks that they're in trouble, Simon might take over.
While Lynn's waiting, she is giving the cat scritchies.
Aww.
She's fond of animals.
This cat has made itself home on Lynn's shoulders at this point and is just purring and rubbing against Lynn's cheek.
You are so precious. Okay, I'm gonna get your name later on. You're gonna get a treat. Do you like treats? I have treats. Oh, you're picking precious.
Little licks on the cheek fur.
Yeah, that's probably also another thing that he's seeing of just, yeah, she's having a wonderful time with this cat now. This cat is your traitor, Cassius.
I think, again, there was a long pause of Cassius just debating things on his own.
Lynn's
and he rolls his eyes, he sighs, he buries his tiny head in both bat wings for a moment. Before he eventually flies off of the chandelier and down to the ground. And turns back in his full 6'9" self in a puff of smoke.
Hey!
This boy is tall.
This boy is over twice Lynn's height. Wait.
Over twice Lynn's height. Taller than Gregory. Though I don't think taller than other folks Lynn has met.
No, I look around Halloweentown. Cassius is probably even slightly short. He's taller than Ro. I know that much. God's almighty. But there is just a nod from Lynn, just, thank you. Shall we go back to our alcove? It was rather nice.
I picked it because it was out of the way, but apparently that wasn't enough for folks like you.
No, it doesn't tend to be.
Cassius just rolls his eyes, and he's just gonna, with all the energy of a teenager who's been told off, just skulk back towards the alcove.
Lynn, you know the vibe of a cat who's got a very impressive kill and is coming in to show everyone? That's the kind of the vibe Lynn's giving, as she's basically just not quite strutting, but just there is the, yes, good, we're finally getting somewhere stride. She is not. I'm also gonna roll hammer space for. Yeah, she's pulled out treats with her left hand, and she's just holding them up to the kitty.
This cat is now your best friend.
This cat failed in pouncing and is now absolutely enamored.
Yep.
Marvelous. And
the cat is having the best time out of anyone here.
Yes. And they do get back to the alcove. And then Lynn does just hold up a finger for a second, go to one side. And Cassius, I'm going to give you with a 15. On the the wall there is a dial. Looks a bit like a volume dial.
Mhm.
And Lin just reaches out and just turns it all the way down and then just goes, privacy.
It goes, what?
Privacy.
Ah. I see.
More for you than for me. I promise not gonna threaten anymore or anything, especially not with such a cute cat. Does this kitty have a name, by the way?
That's Luna.
Hello,
She is
Luna.
my familiar.
Oh, and what a peckin' marvellous familiar. Hello, Luna. Oh, you peckin' sweet pea. Alright.
Luna is just all purrs and nuzzles.
Yeah. Lin is...
And, like, you can see Cassius just glaring at the cat, and you can see just him going, you traitor. You absolute traitor.
Lin's familiar now. Lin's familiar now.
But yeah, Cassius is going to sit back down in his recently hastily vacated spot.
Mm-hmm. The book is still there. Lin's book now has a... I forget what the proper word for a library book that's been loaned out, but it's basically got the to go stamp on it. She just goes, ah, fantastic. Slides it onto her side, just goes. Okay. Now that we've got the hullabaloo out of the way, and I must admit, better than my usual ones. I did have a wonderful time chasing a frog through the woods at one stage. Oh, those screams were fantastic. And how I first met Gregory. Good times.
Do you meet everyone you interact with this way?
Only the most charming ones.
It's just a pinch of the nose. As Cassius just like leans back in his chair, he's accepting he's in this for the long haul.
Marvelous. Now...
So what exactly did you want to discuss? Now that you have my full, undivided attention.
Mainly, well, perhaps how I can help you, after all, with enemies you're getting, and I'm not saying that as a threat or anything, I'm saying that as a statement. It's good to blend in places. Now, I did happen to look you up when I was going through everything, and I must admit, and here she rolls in her hammer space, and she pulls out a file. And she does hold it up, decently sized, and she just goes, this is a copy, by the way. And puts it down, and you see your name on the front. But just, mainly when I was looking through everything, learned about you in... I have mentally blanked on the name of the place that he's been staying, the Gravity Falls XP
Bottomless Heights.
Yep. That you've been in Bottomless Heights. Interesting on that front. Good job, by the way. As in literal job. It's a nice job there, camp counselor. A few other things there, but nothing much that was very interesting. Well, the stealing with an alias, but not my department. What got me was the birth certificate that you had for that. Was a very good one, I must admit. Like, top quality. Whoever, did you make it yourself or did you hire out for it?
It was something I made, yes. I've been having it on hand.
Okay. So, a few things, because, quite frankly, you need this. and you are incredibly smart. This is top quality, but I've been doing this for years. It's good, just not good enough for me. The seal that you've put on it, it's outdated. Not by much, but the king likes changing things about from time to time. Also, you've signed it by the king. It would be the governor of DreamWorks that you'd go for it.
Cassius just sinks back more into his chair and just crossing his arms.
I'm genuinely saying it was a good one. Just, well, if you need to revamp it. That was not a pun, I swear to pick.
Cassius looks even more irritated than he's ever been.
Look, Lin full on has this. She's full on pointed over the table that it wasn't, but even she's going. I'm going to make sure I never say that to Ro.
Please not.
Yes. But when you notice a small red flag like that, you go digging a bit more. Went through a few things. Banned from the ECCR, that was another one that got me. You getting enough ink now? Because I know a few people.
I am fine on that front.
I mean, you're in town now. And
that was an incident that occurred when I had recently turned.
Indeed. And I will allow you to roll insight with advantage, and I will lower the DC on this one to her disadvantaged form.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So, advantage insight, huh?
Yep, advantage insight. DC 19, I might still give you something if you roll
Oh
decent.
my gosh, she got a nat 20.
Yes! I didn't even have to lower it, that one. Cassius, you see an expression. This monkey has kept a very relatively calm face, relatively professional, except for a few tugs of a smile. But you see something in her eyes when you say recently turned. It's not pity. If anything, it might be empathy. And it's not enough care to make you go, oh god, this one's going to try and smother me, or anything. It does straight up feel, it is that kind of empathy care, but not one that means that you're going to have any connection issues with this one. She just goes, yes, sir. From what I've been able to see, well, you also got the age a few years up on your file. And, tracing your ties back. "17 is a real year for, a real age for plots to start taking you by the hook, eh?
Cassius is quiet, but there's kind of just like that very subtle slump of the shoulders of, yeah, no.
You're 20 right now, right?
Nearly.
You don't need it, you're not asking for it, but I do say I'm sorry these things have happened to you. You know, I actually went off a mild hunch when I came to the library out of all places to try and find you. From what I'd found in your files, you did tend to like libraries.
I worked in one for a time, yes. Shortly after I'm assuming you know already, considering
I do.
this. And, like, Cassius has, like, absently opened, like, the file and just started, like, rooting through what Lin does have.
Yeah. And she does just go, I do. And yeah, Cassius, this is a very, very well formatted file. Quite a few bits of it are in code, in cipher, but there is quite a lot of it that's still on show, including probably pictures of, like, the family tree and such.
Cassius's face hardens a little bit when he sees the family tree.
I will say, I don't know why that happened. If you're willing to go into detail, I would appreciate it. I promise it won't get out to anyone. I do have not quite patient confidentiality, but, well, a detective's vow.
I know your track record. At least in that regard.
It often precedes me.
But yes, what you do have here is accurate. When I was 16, I was, for lack of any nicer term, disowned. My mother was not home at the time, but my father and I had an argument, and, well, it resulted in... And he just kind of gestures vaguely. Luckily, not everyone in my family is as cold and calloused as my father. I have a few siblings who helped me get on my feet, as it were.
Yes, Camilla? That was one of them, yes?
Camilla, yes.
Yes. She was helpful in clearing up a few things. I had a few informants around that area.
You're very lucky you spoke with her and not anyone else.
Indeed.
Though I imagine Sorrel would have been just as helpful.
She makes a note. I must admit, where you grew up is, well, I know I keep saying the word interesting, but, given the large genre change from the spooks and scares of this town to that domain.
Yes, the genre of my hometown is, grim, to say the least. There are lots of people who theorize that the genre itself attracts the monsters we hunt.
A positive feedback loop.
Exactly.
Was the hunting, I mean, I know your family's profession, I know what they did. Was that related to the argument, or?
No. The argument at the time was related to, well, my own failures in comparison to others' successes.
Not living up to the legacy.
I am the youngest son of my father. There are 6 siblings who outrank me. I have nothing in my fortune, and I will inherit nothing. So my father makes it a very solid point that I must make it out on my own. Apparently, what I decided upon was not good enough for him.
I see.
I'm the only wizard in my family.
Oh. Ah. That would tend to do it.
And I don't just mean the closest relatives. I mean that in a long, long line.
It is a long and deep history.
Longer than most histories in Anquil.
Indeed. And so it resulted in that.
Cassius just nods silently.
I admit I do want to ask about something, but it might be a bit not callous, but stepping on an old wound. I know how bites get.
Cassius actually looks a little confused.
You were recently turned, as you said. That wasn't... If I didn't have all the context I did, someone would paint a scene of disownment and going to prove themselves and going to fight vampires, but that's not what happened to you.
It is not. I tried to keep to myself after I was essentially banished from my own home.
Mm-hmm. You had a good thing going with that library.
It was a starting point. My intention was to, after I made enough money, I would go out and find something worthwhile.
Mm. And that's sort of what you're doing now, eh? In a few senses.
I suppose.
But it didn't quite turn out how you thought.
It didn't.
To put it one way, I know from reports with everything that happened, and she does shuffle to the part. She doesn't show the picture part of it, just like. But she does show the missing report that was like the presumed missing section of something.
Now, remind me real quick, Vwild, how did I phrase it in our DMs?
Camilla would also be the one to tell Cassius went missing around 2.5 years ago. Receiving money, decent apartment, been publicly presumed missing, then dead at the hands of a vampire, no less, that had been seen fleeing the scene by several witnesses who had been seen carrying something or someone.
It's at this that... Actually, would you like to roll insight?
I would indeed. Alright. Lynn, you're on the ball. I accidentally minimized the thing that I have her sheet on. At least I didn't close it.
Oh, Luis is also gonna roll.
$23.
Oh, 23 from Lin. I'll wait and see what Simon gets. 27. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, the 27 makes sense because Simon is literally in Cassius's head. Simon can literally get in real time the gears stopping in Cassius's head and kicking into full gear. And Lin notices the very sudden change of Cassius's posture as he freezes and looks down at the file again, reading over that information that she's gathered. That's not how it happened.
Oh. Then
That isn't...
Then how did it happen? And she does put a hand over the file for a moment and just go, it's not a show of weakness to take a moment if you need.
Cassius is mentally of a very different opinion, but he's not going to say it aloud.
I know. I feel the same way. I sometimes just want to soldier through everything. Because you don't need it. You're fine. You're you. You can handle anything. But I've had it beaten into my skull. Take a breath. Trust me.
Easier said than done, considering I don't breathe anymore.
You don't...
He kind of says offhandedly.
Sometimes the motion can still help. It's not so much necessity as a comfort.
Cassius just takes a deep inhale and an exhale, maybe a couple more before he straightens himself up and tries to talk about what happened. The way I turned isn't normal. Not in any sense of the word.
Oh.
How vampires turn is usually through being bit or by drinking the blood of another vampire. I was turned in my dreams. And when I woke up, it had occurred in the material plane as well.
I see.
That being said, there was no vampire who bit me. There was no one who could have left a mess such as that. I did vacate the premises as quickly as I could, but there was no struggle, as your file puts.
Interesting. Could be witnesses getting it wrong or blowing it up to deal with the scandal, but I don't think that would be it. Perhaps a setup on that front. Do you remember what the vampire looked like? And it's okay if you don't want to go into detail. Trust me on that. I get it. And I'm going to roll off your earlier nat 20 on that. There is something very sincere in the way Lin says that.
Man. I do know what he looks like, but I don't think there's any feasible way anyone here can reasonably get to him. Not that it would even be in our best interests.
No. But knowing about a being that can do that, well, knowing is half the battle. And if you know of someone, you can either get warning in or just put precautions in place. Either way, I'm sure that, and I am not going to say anything, but I'm sure Ro or someone would be rather interested in knowing about a dream vampire.
Are you perhaps aware of a phenomenon known as the Nightmare Carnival?
I am going to roll history.
I wish Hex was here. Hex would be able to provide more information.
Yeah. I, the Vwild, have listened into the games and I love this place dearly, especially because of Nirvana. That is a... I think this might be more another being influencing Lin than herself on this higher history roll, but that is a... Let me just... 23. In the wrong zone.
23 in the wrong zone. Well, yeah. With a 23, you probably have heard the rumors.
Mm-hmm.
It's very subtle for something that most often cannot be remembered in the waking world. But it is a phenomenon where there is a dream shared between the visitors of the carnival. They go into the dream, and they most often leave relatively unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's essentially a dream where it's like one of those spooky carnivals, like spooky in the sense of the lighthearted.
I mean, they have
you go there
kids
for fun and scares, and then you wake up later.
They have kids go there from time to time. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I am aware of it in a distant sense. It's not exactly something easy to find, but I think an associate might have mentioned it once.
As far as I understand, you can only enter when you're invited.
I see.
Which is fitting, considering that's where I was turned.
Lin, who... She had been writing notes in a shorthand with, like, her left hand, and you see the pen full on just freeze. She's just... one of the denizens.
More of the head honcho of the entire establishment.
The ringmaster.
Yes.
I see.
Though I must admit, it was... And he says this like he's forcing out something.
Mm-hmm.
Partially, mostly, my own fault.
Would you mind clarifying that? And she puts the pen down as she says that and just leans in slightly.
You must understand, at the time I was 17. I was young. I am young. What am I talking about?
Hardship makes you feel older. It's a before and after.
I got my fortune told at one of the booths and didn't like what I was told. And a funny thing, the person I threw a fit at was not Graves, not the ringmaster, but rather, well, as you put it, our green-eyed the thrall.
Lin straight up. I don't think there is full on just a slight eye widen at that. That was news to her.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was very big news to her. It's such a subtle reaction from her. It does just seem as though she's intrigued in the story. Internally, oh my god! Peck! But that's all internal. External, she's just like, I see. Go on.
Well, I threw a fit in a way I really shouldn't have. I didn't know who or what the thrall was at the time. I have a much better sense now. Looking back on it, I shudder to think what would have happened if Graves hadn't stepped in.
A small mercy in the grand scheme of things. But you were right.
The lesser of two evils, but...
Indeed.
In the end, for causing a scene, I was... well, and Cassius gestures at himself, mostly at the elongated ears and the long nose.
And she does steeple her hands. She stops rubbing at Luna and she does just steeple her hands in front of her face as she just thinks for a moment and then just nods and just goes, thank you for telling me. And I know it's not easy to talk about such things.
Figured I would have to talk about it eventually. And, like, as Cassius is talking, Luna actually slides off of Lin's lap and kind of pads on over to Cassius.
Leonard hopes.
Just jumps in his lap, and Cassius just automatically just starts petting behind her ears.
Leonard honestly hoped that would be the case, and just a slight satisfaction at that. Just okay. Interesting on multiple fronts. Okay. Have you talked to anyone else about all of this?
Cassius thinks for a long moment.
The fact that you're pausing there is a mild note of concern.
Technically speaking, there would be one other, though I don't think it will be much of an issue.
I wasn't so much talking about it as an issue as... That's a lot to go through. And doing it alone, gotta admit, I know how to do that, and it doesn't work out particularly great if you just bottle it all up inside and don't let it out to someone. Especially if it boils over down the line. But so this other person, they someone in this place you've been staying where you're the counselor, or?
Yes.
Can Lin roll an insight to see how
I'm
Cassius is
rolling
reacting?
deception. I'm rolling deception.
I'm rolling insight.
Okay. Lynn's probably gonna see through him so fast.
What did he get? What did he get?
He got a 19 in deception, but I also know Lynn's modifiers are broken.
Yeah, and she's been rolling well. That's a 22.
Oh no!
Yes. Would you mind clarifying on who exactly this is? Because she's looking at your expression, and she's kind of prayer handsing.
Lynn can kind of see Cassius eyes briefly glance over to one side before refocusing back on Lynn. Which, if Lynn looks to where Cassius was looking, there's nothing there.
You know what? You know what? Lynn's got enough people. Literally, there's been Craigery. She knows a lot of warlocks and such, and she's also got network humming in the back of her head always. She just goes, Cassius.
What?
And she's kind of prayer handsing and going to speak and then stopping and going to speak and going, is there someone else listening in on our conversation right now?
No. Which, going off the 22, no, that's a lie.
Cassius, is the other person you've told listening right now? And if you say no, I will know, because I know the answer is yes, but I want to hear it out of your mouth.
Okay, fine. Yes.
Right. Was this consensual, or do I have to beat up a mother pecker?
Accidental.
Okay, fair enough.
Believe me, I have been getting involved in a lot of strange things.
Oh, join the picking club and choir. We don't have t-shirts yet, but by gods we should.
I think Cassius actually snorts at that. Which he immediately covers up.
You know what, Lin outright laughs. She's got one head in her hands. And she does just look off to one side and then look back and just go, yeah. Plot happens. Shenanigans happen. They keep kicking in the door, don't they?
It is endless and ceaseless, and I would much like a break from it, admittedly, but the plot has other ideas.
Exactly. I mean, can we not just get like a nice parasol and go on a beach episode of all things? Gods, I want a beach episode. Or you know what? Another nice, just go to a nice library like this one and just chill for 3 days. After this, I'll try and keep people off your back. I can't promise it. We've got a few people, including an absolute cinnamon roll. He might try and get a hold of you. He's a Disney princess, okay? He's gonna befriend you. Don't resist. I'm sorry.
Cassius lets out the longest groan.
I'm sorry. He manages it for everyone. I love him. At the same time, sorry, I don't know the correct term for your friend, compatriot, headspace companion? Is there a word that you define by?
What do you go by? And Cassius just looks off at the side again. What? It's not like we came up with a term for it.
Lynn's just slightly now just arms crossed, like eyebrow raised.
Just Cassius is having a conversation with nothing.
Honestly, this doesn't alarm Lynn in the slightest, seeing as the amount of time she's had a talk with her house.
True. Eventually, Cassius just sighs and, okay, it has provided the term digital. And he says that in heavy air quotes.
Huh. Digital. Like the computer tech? Huh. Fascinating.
I happened to stumble upon him when I was attempting to utilize some technology from No Man's. It somehow had ended up in Bottomless Heights in a pawn shop.
Wait, you're a wizard. You messed with it, didn't you?
I'd messed with it.
Oh, you are so like my partner on a
To be fair, I figured it would just be like a typewriter at the time. I wasn't familiar with these sort of things, and apparently it had... I know you can't see him. This. In it.
You know what?
You know what? Actually, Cassius is gonna cast Silent Image and just make a floating image of Simon next to him.
Lynn immediately imprinting this vision on her memory to sketch it out later and add it to the case file.
A whole other person. Bonus person.
You know, it's kind of sad to say this isn't even the weirdest thing to happen this month. Pleased to meet you. Now,
Louis, it would be really funny if Simon possessed Cassius. To talk to Lynn.
If you would like, by all means.
Please.
I will not say no. What I will say is, dear gods, I just realised I need to get my computer thing. Hang on. How did I not foresee this? I ran my battery down. Mad scramble time. We're changing locations. We're changing locations. I'm still here, by all means. The mad sounds of...
You've heard of secondary location. How about secondary character?
Incredible. Alright. God almighty. I'm here, I'm queer, we're alive still. Alright. So, not to insult your digital, because you seem an absolutely wonderful person. Are they able to talk to you about these things? Like, have you got any support right now, Cassius? I'm being as blunt as I can here. Because, from what I've been able to tell, you're staying at a place called Bottomless Heights, yet when the going gets tough and shit hits the fan, you abscond into the mountains, which I gotta admit, is a decent play, except you're completely isolated from anyone. Do you have support?
Cassius is just kind of trying to come up with like reasoning and such, and You have to understand, with my situation, I can't exactly reach out to people I know.
Indeed, true, I'll give it that. At the same time, you are currently residing in a town of some very, very good vampires, who also have very good therapists here, or just people to talk to, or just someone to, have a glass of ink and go, this shit wild, yo. You thought of doing that?
Cassius is just pinching the bridge of his nose.
You know what? I am a toon and I must commit to certain shenanigans, and I am also a dumbass who has been in your place. So 1 second, and she goes over to the wall bit, double checks that she's got the volume turned all the way down low, comes back to the table, stands up on the table, looks down at your lap and goes, Kitty, I am so sorry, I'm about to yell. Looks back up at you and goes, stop being an idiot and get a support network, you picnic! Don't be me, it doesn't go well. Don't be an idiot, you're very smart, I can see it in you, you're a very smart wizard. Don't do it. Get help.
Gods. I feel like Cassius's expression can just be summarized in completely flabbergasted and slightly insulted.
Hey, you give me that look. Do you know how many people I have gone to, I have interacted with in my inner circle nowadays, which I have got in the past 2 years, and all of them go, nah, I can handle it, it's fine, and then they get yoinked and they go through their entire development. We've had arcs on this stuff. You've met my partner. He's gone through this, I've gone through this, I've been bit like you. Don't recommend it. Seriously, talk to people. It goes so much better. You can cut out so much of the hassle. I believe in you.
It would be really funny if in response to this, Cassius just goes like, all right, no, Simon, you're going. I'm not taking this. It's too late, we switched.
Simon, take the wheel. Simon, take the wheel. Simon, take the wheel. I don't like this conversation anymore. Simon, you deal with the monkey.
It doesn't have to.
I can see Lewis unmuted, but I can't hear the Lewis.
Ah!
Is Lewis talking? Quick, break out the Ouija board.
Alright, Lewis, can you try leaving and coming back and seeing if it helps?
Hey! I can hear the Lewis!
Yay!
I am not a ghost anymore, which is very in character.
Fantastic.
I was so... You couldn't hear me, but I was yelling at Simon going, no, don't put me in situations. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just like... I think it looks like Cash is getting zapped by something, and then suddenly you look at his eyes, and there's, one red and one yellow, and it just looks like he just arrived here.
Lin, who'd been slightly leaning forward at this point, she's got her prayer hands. She was clapping her gloves together in time to some certain parts of it, and she just goes, I'm presuming you're the digital, and Cassius has decided no me want outie.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi! He extends an hand. I'm Simon.
Peckin' wonderful to meet you, Simon. I'm Lin. And she does just take the hand.
Happy to be here, sort of. Not really. I heard so many things.
Yes, I'm sure this is probably a lot. I apologize for dragging this all into the fore. I'm not actually sorry. This is my job, and I like it. It's my enrichment. At the same time, well, on the plus side, now you're here, I can at least tell you, hey, this Cassius is your friend, right? How do you view this relationship? What is this relationship to you?
Will they call us friends? I would call us partners. Stuck together.
Well then, you see, partners, quite like beneficial relationships, and...
Yes.
Indeed.
Business partners.
Indeed. And
sort of.
Well then, for best business, your associate, your partner, needs to be in the best shape possible, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And a support network, getting certain things handled, the mental health and all the emotional well-being, that is very good for business.
You think I can tell this child what to do?
Well, I've learned very well that the I know a song that gets on your nerves, go to therapy, you pick neck works quite well. How often are you in their head? Is it a 24/7 thing, or is it a...
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
I'm completely stuck there. I would like to leave. Don't think I don't.
You're completely stuck. Oof.
Yeah. That's my house now.
Well, how do the kids put it nowadays? Free real estate? Yeah. Right.
I guess.
Marvelous.
Oh, God. It's free real estate.
But, with what you've learnt now, I presume you're wanting to keep everything in order.
Mm-hmm.
So just, if you can. Especially as I'm presuming Cassius is still here, right?
Oh, he is. Don't even worry about it. He is currently with his head in his hands.
Marvelous. You're getting a support network whether you like it or not, Mother Paker. You live in Einquill. Found family's a bitch. If you do not reach out for a support network, one will be assigned to you. No, you do not get a choice in who.
If there's one thing I've learned about this place is that you do not escape the Font family.
No.
I would like to. I would like to go home.
Where is home, if I may ask?
Computers, actually. Virtual plane? It's like the Fey realm, but computers.
You know, you'd think that'd be flabbergasting, but again, it's been a really weird couple of years. Alright. I'm gonna make a file on it. I'm gonna make a file on it.
Uh-oh.
But tell me, is there anything you'd like to share at this meeting?
Uh-huh.
By all means.
How are we doing?
By all means, seeing as Cassius has willingly given you the floor, anything you would like to say to be added to the files?
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. What do you want me to say?
Well, information is power on any aspect. Lin tilting her head either side. Me, the Vwild. I don't know these characters!
I have no idea what to say! What am I supposed to say?
Cassius, take the fucking wheel back!
Cassius asking Simon to share something like he has something to share.
Look, Cassius can't run away physically, he's trying mentally.
That was the worst idea you ever had, buddy. And Simon's gonna tell him so.
these circumstances, it's usually when I'm going, hey, tell me something fun. And seeing as you got Cassius, and Cassius is refusing to come back.
Mm-hmm.
You got any fun things on Cassius?
Do
Oh,
not.
God.
Do not.
Hey, Abby, what can Simon say?
Oh gosh, what can Simon say?
Lin,
Because he
realizing...
probably knows a lot of stuff, actually, that wouldn't be in the file.
You probably know a lot of embarrassing stuff too.
The sheer
It's like a
fact...
parent showing the baby pigs.
The sheer fact that Lin has absolutely figured out, okay, he wanted him to take the wheel, fine, we're gonna make him regret. Affectionate, we're gonna make him regret.
Oh, God. Simon did not understand that as fuck, but then as first, but then Lin explained. He was like, "Oh, this is brilliant, actually."
Lin just full on just puts her hands in the air and then down on her lap, and there is a knife cat expression. There is no other way to describe it. There is, like, she's still standing on the table. It's utter knife cat. She knows what she's doing. Just.
This is excellent.
Tell me all then.
Oh,
Weaponizing teenage embarrassment.
well, I can tell you that when he said that if the computer will be like a typewriter, it did mean that he has absolutely no fucking clue how the fuck to use one.
I mean, they're not exactly the most common.
He put his hand on the USB port. That's the only reason I'm in his brain, because he got zapped.
What? Why?
He's lucky he's a dude. I don't know if a human would have liked that as much.
Cassius is. You know what, Louis? Do you want to roll for this? I think Cassius is trying to wrestle control back now.
Yeah, sure. When do we
Just
roll?
roll a d20.
Oh, excellent. Hold on.
Just a straight d20.
Simon got an 18.
I got an 8.
Oh my god.
Oh, there we go.
Her body check.
You're not getting in. You're not getting out of this.
Oh, sorry. You wanted me to have the wheel, and now you want it back. No, it's my wheel now.
It's my buddy.
It's fine. It's like the one sibling who puts their hand on your head.
I'm going to figure out the way how to get out of here, and I'm going to murder you.
It's too late for that one, buddy.
I don't know what's being said,
okay.
but I presume it's the... yeah, I know these sorts of things. I have cousins.
He wants to create destruction in this world through the means of murder.
Saying that around a detective is one thing, but I admit I know exactly what you're saying. As I said, I've got cousins. You threaten violence to them every now and then. You love them. You still want to smother them with a pillow every now and then when they're absolute picks.
I don't think there's any point in that.
Heavens.
Listen.
I think there's only pain and suffering.
There is the venomous suffering of two people who got into this situation, and by gods, they both want outie. But hey, you're not at each other's throats, and you're not doing anything too violent. So you've grown attached in some ways. Besides physical attachment. Listen, Picnic, I know a bad relationship when I see one.
Uh-oh.
You're doing
Don't tell me about relationships. Oh, God.
Oh, we could talk about relationships if you like.
And we please leave. I've had enough of this monkey.
I haven't had enough of this monkey, actually. I
like you. You know, I like
I got
you.
more facts if you want.
Cassius, if you want outie, you gotta come and you gotta say it to my peck and face with your own lips.
God.
from you.
Give me the wheel.
No, you
Give me the
want to be
wheel.
so bad in this place. It's too late.
Picnic, I will cast spells on you.
Lynn, you should see when he's wearing the uniform of Camp Campen.
You.
Simon, is it
Yes.
Mr. Sim? I've got a case file on him. Of course I've seen him in the uniform.
Oh my god, I didn't see the picture. Hold on, I need to see it.
Simon gets whole person cast on him. Make a wisdom save.
Hold on, I need to check. Hold on, okay, what's his saving from wisdom? It is a +3.
I am detective.
It's a 20.
Gosh dang it.
I am Detective Little Lin Stagehand. I've got a file on everyone. Of course I've got a picture of that in here. Here.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes!
No.
Excellent! I love this so much. Oh gods, I wish I could keep it.
Alas and alack, I did promise these wouldn't leave this room. However, they are in your memory forever.
They are. He puts a hand on his heart. And I'll
Going to
cherish them
kill-
forever.
I'm going to kill you both.
Cassius, do keep in mind I have pictures like this, Cassius. I have useful
Oh
information.
my god.
Get your support network. One will be assigned to you. I'm asking you, get one other person. Just one friend. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Think of it like a bet. Because it is a bet. I'm betting with you. And I know how challenges get with wizards. Come on.
God, does she know?
All you need is one person in a support network who you can talk to about these things. Not straight away, I won't pressure you in that. But at some stage. But you're a good judge of character. Yeah, you can find one, I'm sure. Wanna take a bet? And she sits back down. In fact, she sits on the table and crosses her legs one over the other and then puts her hands on her legs in the... It is full on detective, let's make a deal. But she's not actually making a deal, she's basically blackmailing.
Gods. You're getting your spot back if you want it.
Yeah, Cassius is taking it back immediately.
My buddy.
My buddy. My buddy.
She figured this would work.
Freaking Cassius gets back control and he immediately goes from whatever emotion Simon had to just pure rage.
You're starting to see why I'm very good at my job. I can get people to come out when I want them to. But, as I said, one person. That's all I'm asking.
One person.
Just one person. Or I could always show these pictures to Roll. I mean, I'm sure he'd find them interesting. They're like baby pictures.
Do not. Please, do not.
I won't. Although I would like updates when you do. Just prove to me in the bet. Like, I know postcards are fine. Especially as I know when you get your person, you are basically going to want to rub it in my face as, ha, monkey, I win.
It's not as easy as just finding somebody. Most of the folks I know aren't exactly great company.
I get that. But just keep an eye out on it. You'll find someone. Whether it's similar experiences or other forms of things. You'll find someone. And if if you need to talk as well, I'm here at the same time. I'm pretty sure you want to punt me. Don't think you could, but you could try.
I think if I did, I would have half of this town wanting my head.
I'd turn around and say it was justified. I'm not gonna lie. And besides, between you and me, it would probably be Asclepius asking me who started it, and I'd have to put my hand up because he's got such a look when he does the disappointment. It's the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, and then you're stuck with that. It's rubbish. And she does just.
I think Cassius just rolls his eyes again.
Mm-hmm. And she does just close the file and just go. But I think we're done here. I'll leave you to your books. I'll leave you to your little newfound quest. When you get your found family, I'll find out about it. I'm wishing you the best on it.
Mm.
Things are gonna get better.
We'll see.
Like looking in a mirror. Alright. So, I'm taking this book. Goodbye, Luna. You pecking, fantastic, wonderful kitty. You have a good day, alright? You are so precious. And she does just like leave another 2 treats on the table.
Lin does not get further than 2 steps before the treats are snarfed.
Yes. Be seeing you, Cassius. Or rather, I might see you. We'll see if you see me. And just flashes a grin that's too many teeth. And then just strides out, humming to herself. And the moment she goes out the alcove, you can't hear her anymore. But there is just a satisfied sway to her tail.
Meanwhile, Cassius at the table lets out the loudest groan and just face plants against the table. I never should have come here.
Lin, as she's making her way out, oh, you really should have come here. That was peckin' fantastic. That was enriching.
Oh, that's a wonderful ending point.
Yeah. God.
I love that.
She needed this so much.
Just freaking digging on character unrelated to your current stressful plot.
She's in 2 stressful plots right now. One of them's a civil war, and then there's this doomsday.
2 of them. There's 2 of them. It's pain.
It's pain. Her design is paying for it.
Oh, good heavens. Oh, man.
God almighty. I love and appreciate that. Obby, this was marvelous. Luis, thank you for joining in.
Thank you for this. This was wonderful.
I hope you got a satisfying amount of lore out.
Luis, I am sorry, not sorry for dragging Simon into this so suddenly.
I am feasting on lore tonight.
I did good. Alright.
You did.
Alright. Shall we say
Thank
goodbye?
you for inviting me.
Happy to have you. Alright, shall we say goodbye to our wonderful audience?
Absolutely. Goodbye!
Bye-bye!